What's up and welcome to Clash Chat. I'm JDS and I'm here with Gallydon.
Hi, today we're gonna tell you some stories, explain how we got into management or into playing Clash Royale generally.
Indeed, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how we got into Clash Royale, what led us to where we are now, and basically everything in between. So should be a really exciting chat. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. But I guess Gallydon can head into what got him into Clash Royale.
As so many did, I wanted to start with Twitch streaming. That was in June 2017, I think. So before the esports scene properly evolved, let's say, I was streaming there one day. Some player of a top clan come in, right? And I asked him to do a special stream with me, right? So, like, telling the people some tips and stuff. So invited me to a line, to an app I didn't know so far. And I got invited to several group chats and stuff, where I slowly get into esports. Then I founded my first team. I don't remember the name, honestly. Then we merged into Unleashed, where we had our first experiences with game battles and LPL qualifiers and stuff. And get into We Love Gaming in the end of November and December. Well, with We Love Gaming, which were qualified for the RPL Europe then, we made it in the top 8, I think, with players like Forgiven Light, Beast, and many others. But soon the team, stopped existing since the leader, or the CEO, we could say, didn't want to continue the team, right? And soon the sponsor hopped off, and that was a big problem.
Yeah.
As you'd imagine.
Yeah, of course.
Afterwards, I was kind of sick of being not the highest manager because some of the mistakes that were made could have been easily avoided if they knew what to do.
Yeah.
I won't say that I would have known, right? But now I know after they made the mistakes. Then I joined Team Austria and got the national captain of Team Austria. And played in WRL afterwards. But first, I'm going to tell you about Nightborn, which was my very own team I founded afterwards. Well, not many will know about that.
Yeah.
We nearly qualified for WRL. We were in the finals against, I don't know any team from the RPL qualifiers.
Yeah.
For the latest season. And we didn't make it.
Wow.
In the lower bracket finals. And afterwards, we tried for MGL, but didn't make it, right? And the players were misbehaving and stuff, so I finally decided to disband the team.
Yeah.
Well, I continued Team Austria practicing and scrimming, recruiting new players, tryouting, and joined NKS in April then. Which was the first pro team I joined, honestly.
Yeah.
But it mainly was Italian, that was a large problem for me. Since everybody spoke Italian only.
Yeah.
And some of them owned English.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah, that's really tough because, if you want to tell the players something as a manager, it's very difficult to have their reactions.
Yeah.
Especially if all of them speak Italian.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Still, it was a very nice time, a very nice manager. I can only say that Invoke is a very nice guy. And, I quit MKS then in August, I think. So I stayed there for quite a while, for 3 months, I think.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But I didn't do a lot of stuff in the end for the last month. Well, after that, I took a break from the team management for 1 or 2 months, I think. And I joined the tournament management, tournament organization. Like being admin in-game and stuff.
Yeah.
And I joined the WRL, one of the most widely known national leagues besides CRN.
Nations Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides that, WRL is one of the biggest organizations. And I've been there and worked my way up all the way to Board of Moderation, which is the second highest position there. Didn't quit for a while, I think. I'm still in it. Of course, I'm still in it. Working on the next season already at the moment. And slowly but surely, I got interested in team management again.
Yeah.
I've been searching for a team then for a month and finally found Team Inception. With Team Reception, I then won some small leagues, won the RSLU,
Yeah.
but honestly, the
You ended up.
RSLU was just the final.
Yeah,
Was
you
just
ended
the
up
finals
getting
against Vanguard.
beating Vanguard. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
right. I remember you
indeed.
being in the finals.
Uh,
Yeah, and afterwards we lost the first match against Liquid
yeah.
Academy in the upper bracket of the RSL World Finals. Well, and at the moment, I'm searching for a new team as an analyst, working together with a friend of mine, and I will see what the future brings.
Alright, so I used to play Clash of Clans, obviously, and I was really hyped about Clash Royale once they announced it in-game. A lot of the dynamics inside of the game seemed great, so once it came out globally in South Africa, I was on it on the first day it came out, and immediately I basically fell in love with it. It seemed like such a great game. I was really hyped. I decided, okay, I'm gonna give this game a go. I'm gonna kind of fade out of Clash of Clans, and I started to get half decent at the game. And then maybe 4 months into my playing, I got to maybe 2,500 trophies, 2,000-ish trophies. I was making a couple of videos on it at the time, and it was just a blast. I was having fun with the game, and so on and so forth. And so 4 months later, I quit the game, actually, or around 4 months at least, because I had a lot of stuff going on IRL, and I just couldn't focus on it. So I quit, and then towards the end of 2016, I came back again. At the time, they introduced not global tournaments, what am I speaking about? At the time, they introduced 15k tournaments, and that was really exciting. I played in a couple of those. Wasn't really aware of the competitive scene at the time at all, though, so I had no idea you could actually play the game as like a professional or competitively or anything like that, so I didn't get involved in anything like that at the time. But I was starting to slowly but surely get pretty decent at the game. I hit like 3,000 trophies at the beginning of 2017, and I kept pushing and I kept playing, and I started to get pretty good. And I was making a bunch of videos. I got to around 4,000 trophies, started to be able to win some classic challenges, and then I started watching a bunch of YouTube videos from a bunch of content creators that I enjoy, one of which was Kairos Time. And he had a bunch of clans, right? He had his own clans called the Kairos Kingdom. And I decided, this looks amazing. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to see if I can somehow join in. Because it just seemed like a really nice environment to be in. So I joined there, and that was really fun. I started to improve even more, and I got really good. Got to like 4,500 trophies or so as a level 10. Well, I didn't get really good, obviously. I was still bad as a competitive player, but as a casual I was getting pretty good. I got to 4,500 trophies as a level 10 with my level 8 hog and all of that, so that was a blast. I was pretty happy with myself for that. And then one of my friends from the Kairos Kingdom decided to introduce me to his competitive clan called RK Esports, and he said, okay, you should get involved with this. It'll be fun. You're decent at the game, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the competitive scene like I do. And I was like, okay, well, that seems really interesting. Let me give that a go. So I decided to try out for them, and I made it into their B team. I didn't quite manage to make it into the A team immediately, but around 2 or 3 weeks into it, I was moved up to the first team, and I started to really improve at that point. I was playing with a lot of players that were a lot better than me, and that was just a blast. I was playing in a few leagues here and there, and I was really improving. I won a couple of grand challenges here and there. I started to get a bunch of competitive experience, and it was really great. I was improving. I was getting a bit well known in the community. I must have had around 100 Twitter followers at that point, something like that. And then RK Esports kind of disintegrated. They broke up, and I moved on from them. The next clan I joined was Sandstorm towards the beginning or towards the middle or end of 2017. And that was amazing. That was where I really started to shine as a player. I grew so much as a player, and I started to get achievements. I became even more well known, even though I wasn't really well known beforehand. Reasonably well known now, but anyway, that's a useless digression. And I started to really improve there. I was doing way better than I ever had before in competitive, and people were noticing me. I was doing well in ELO and a bunch of other things. And at that point, Clash Royale announced CRL Combines. So Europe had one, America had one, China had one, Latin America had one, and I think that was it. But I was going to compete for South Africa in that. I was the only competing player in the CRL Combine in South Africa, and you had to get 20 wins to qualify. So yeah, it wasn't exactly a very easy thing to get into, but I managed to get 20 wins, and I was going to compete in this Combine. So how it works is 256 players from Europe and parts of Africa compete in every single bracket, and there's 16 of these brackets. Every player can sign up to maximum 15 brackets, alright? So I signed up to all 15. Anyway, so these brackets are very, very tough. The way you qualify and go over to the Netherlands to compete in the Combine is you have to come top 4 out of 256 players. So not exactly an easy feat. Not impossible, don't get me wrong. And not the most difficult. Maybe it might be the most difficult thing I've done, actually. But nonetheless, I competed in that. First day it didn't go so well. I was really exhausted on the day, so I didn't really do well at all. I lost early-ish on, and I just decided, okay, I'm sacked. I'm gonna go to bed. And the next day, or the day after that, I played again. This time, things didn't quite work out how they did the first time, and I managed to come top 4. I was beaten by OP Sam, a good friend of mine, and in order to come top 4, I guess, you have to get a record of 7-1. You have to play 8 best of 3s, and best of 3s, and you have to win at least 7 of them and lose 1. And I lost to OP Sam, a really good friend of mine, amazing guy, and that was disappointing. It was around 4 matches in, but I still managed to clutch it up in the end, and I got to 7-1, and I ended up coming 4th. So that was insane. Such an amazing opportunity to go to the Netherlands there. But unfortunately, due to some family issues, that never happened, and I wasn't able to play in CRL or anything like that, which is obviously devastating, and it was a rough time in my life at that point. Wasn't much fun dealing with that, but nonetheless, I kept going, and in August or so, they announced the Red Bull MEO, and 36 countries were invited, and South Africa was one of them. And so I thought, as soon as they announced the South African Combine, obviously I thought, okay, it's a home run. I'm definitely going to be able to qualify for South Africa and go over to Germany to compete in the World Finals in February. So just under a month away from now. And I played in that, and I managed to win. It was really exciting, and I managed to win, and I got the trophy, and I'm off to Germany in February. This time for real, actually. So that's really exciting, managing to win that. So at that point as well, let me note, around the middle of 2018, so just before the Red Bull MEO, maybe 2 months before the MEO, I left Sandstorm and I joined an organization called Vanguard, who I'm still with now. They're absolutely amazing. I've been loving it. I've been here for maybe 6 months or so now. Maybe not quite 6 months, but it's been great. And I've also, towards the middle of 2018, I started something called Bootcamp Royale. Because at the time, the competitive scene was really struggling, right? People weren't creating leagues. There was nothing for competitive players. And players were really drying up. They were losing interest. They were quitting the game. So I decided something needs to be done about this. So I decided to start something called Bootcamp Royale. Bootcamp Royale really was aiming to revitalize the scene, create a way for unknown players to become known and get a place in the community, and so on and so forth. So I did that for maybe 3 or 4 months. We had maybe 100 players playing in brackets every single day for like 3 or 4 months, and that was amazing. But the scene started to get so bad at the time that even that, players started losing interest, and they started to, disappear. Less and less players were playing in the brackets. So eventually I was like, okay, there is no point in continuing here. It's suicide. It's just going to continually drop, and we're going to end up playing with 5 players a day in a bracket kind of thing, which is pointless. So I decided, okay, things have got to stop here. There's no point in offering a service that no one's going to use. So I decided that was it. I stopped Bootcamp Royale for then. I'll obviously come back at some point in the future, as it's something I have a strong passion for, and I'm interested to build it into something big sometime in the future. But yeah, it just didn't work at the time, so I decided to stop there. Nonetheless, though, I learned a hell of a lot from it. I learned how to run a business, I learned how to deal with people, and a bunch of other very, very useful skills. So I would sacrifice a lot to have those skills, so I'm glad I've been able to get them. Really useful. And it also helped, I guess, grow my own profile. People started to know of me, and it really helped my, I guess, online presence, which was, useful. It was great. I already had a decent sized following at that point anyway, though. I had maybe like 600 followers, which isn't something special, don't get me wrong, but I was known. Most competitive players in the English community, at least, would know about me. But yeah, that's kind of where I've gotten to until now. Semi-pro scene is starting to pick up again. There's another announcement that I'm going to be making, which is huge, sometime soon. So in general, I'm very excited about things. Can't wait to see where things go. And I think that about wraps it up. Let me think. Have I missed anything here? No, just got that announcement coming soon. I've got the Red Bull MEO coming in February, which I'm obviously very excited about. And that wraps up my Clash Royale journey, I guess. Oh, one other thing is I started a YouTube channel. This hasn't got anything to do with Clash Royale, but obviously I enjoy making content. I made a lot of content around Clash Royale back in the day, and I had like 500 subscribers or something. Again, nothing special, but I've started doing that again. Not around Clash Royale this time, but more real life, helpful videos, meaningful videos and things like that, which is great. I really enjoy doing meaningful things, which is one of the reasons behind Bootcamp Royale and so on. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's been really entertaining, or really entertaining for me to talk about, at least. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. If you have, don't forget to, I guess, leave some feedback.
Yeah, all right, we'll see us, and we have some exciting guests. You can really look forward to it. We talk about some very interesting topics that, of course, will be announced, as JD said.
Indeed. Can't wait to get this done with Galley. And I guess we'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, peace.